Okay, Casey, we're here March the 10th, and we're getting some March wind out here, and
Yeah.
so kind of tell me a little bit about what's taking place here on your farm and what you guys are doing. How many days or weeks you think you're away from maybe going to the field and planting your first beans or corn here in Lake City, Arkansas?
Yeah, we're starting to dry up, and we got the winds in our favor now, and we're starting to kind of see some things move in our favor as we get ready. We're wanting to try a few early plots of beans this time, so we're going to next 10 days, 2 weeks, we're going to start looking at putting a planter in the field. We're going to get our fertilizer out and start working on getting things prepped and get ready for the season coming up here.
So typically in here around Lake City, when do you start planting your corn crop? And then I'll start talking, because you did say you're wanting to think about planting some extra early beans. So tell me when you typically start planting corn, just by the rule of thumb.
Rule of thumb, if we're looking at the calendar, anywhere from the 10th to 15th of April, we're looking at getting started. That's typically when our soil temps get correct where we want them to be. We want that corn seed to come up growing and never stop. So we like to start around the 10th or 15th, and that's just a good benchmark, and we kind of go based off what the good Lord gives us.
Okay. So how much are you thinking about pushing this bean crop, about moving it ahead? What are you thinking about there?
Well, we're going to try a few different things this time. We're going to lengthen some maturity, and we're going to shorten some maturity. We're going to kind of see how that works based off some March planting dates. If the weather stays good and we get some temperatures that are kind of in the right favor. Last year we kind of had some things that went against us. We had an early freeze that actually a late freeze in May that kind of killed some of our early beans off, but I think we'll get a chance this time to push them early and see if we can't get something going.
So maybe a Good Friday, the Friday before Easter, maybe that Good Friday
Yeah.
before Easter weekend might be a target.
It might be a target, or maybe the good Lord will lay down the palms and let me get it on Palm Sunday.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. But anyway, so a few changes here coming on your farm this time around. I hear that you're thinking about changing up some of maybe your fertility practices, timing, and those type of things.
Yeah.
What's your reasoning behind that?
Well, we've started to work with some individuals like yourself that have really started to show us where our weaknesses and strengths are. And so we want to adapt and start worrying about the law of the minimum and seeing where exactly we're going wrong. So we've got to look at the nutrients and all the things within our soil health that cause us to be good and bad. And so we've got to increase our yields and also increase our profitability while we're doing that.
Okay, you mentioned getting this corn plant, starting this planting. Kind of tell me a little bit about what you've been using that we brought to the table and maybe the benefits on the corn crop.
This last year we started with Enviro Boost, and that was new to us, and we started to really see some really nice gains out of it. But we've been big proponents of Terra and Carbos the whole time, and Invigorate, which is the no-brainer. I mean, we started working with the Invigorate Plus this last year, and that seemed to do well under us too, but it's just hard to get away from the Invigorate. But the Carbos and Terra have just been staples as of late, and we just want to build off those products to see what we can do coming in the future.
Okay, so you grow cotton too. So have you used Invigorate on the cotton, and tell me a little bit about what characteristics you're seeing there?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's got any experience with the Invigorate in itself knows how it performs. But if you've seen it on corn, if you grow cotton, you need to be looking at this, because it's even more important, or it's showed to be bigger yield advantage for us in cotton than it has even in the corn spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on these beans that you're really wanting to try to maybe, you say you're going to lengthen the maturity, you're going to shorten the maturity. You're wanting, in an earlier conversation, you talked about stacking the nodes and shortening that plant up. So all of that's pretty exciting if we can work with that and do that to this plant. So it's going to be a really interesting year here for us.
Yeah, and that's what we want to kind of look at, is we want to be able to see as it would go to those earlier maturities, if we can lengthen that flowering period longer than we typically had to. And so that's what we want to look at, the longer maturities, and see if something that's not really for our area, if that will go ahead and push us over the top, or if we can shorten them and cause our flowering period to be super long and hit that solstice and be exactly where we need to be.
That's pretty exciting.
Oh, it is.
It is.
I'm excited about this, and I'm excited. Working with Genesis has just been a great deal for us.
Okay. Well, we're excited to try to help you reach your goals.